What is up, guys? It is October 26th of 2023, and we finally have some information about the Rarity Collection. This set is going to be released in the next month, beginning of next month, so it is coming up fast, and we have basically all the information. So if you guys forgot, because it has been a while, Konami has not really teased this. They announced it about, I don't know, like 6 months ago. It's been a while, guys, like a while. So yeah, I wouldn't blame you if you forgot about this set. But anyway, so the 25th anniversary Rarity Collection is a stunning all-foil set with 79 of the game's most popular cards, all of which are available in 7 different rarities. Watch as your cards sparkle and shine in rarity so luxurious that you will be the envy of every duelist. All this to say is that every single card in here will be in 7 rarities. It's going to be super, I think, ultra secret rare, prismatic secrets, quarter century rare, and also like some OCG exclusives are gonna get imported. So it's a really good set, guys. Just off that. However, with the spoilers we got, there's not much variation between this and the Rarity Collection that the OCG got, which is kind of strange because usually they don't do that, right? The TCG department takes liberty to kind of mess up what the OCG has product wise. For example, like Maximum Gold El Dorado, Maximum Gold, the first one, and even Magnificent Mavens. Like Magnificent Mavens was actually a good set, but the TCG took liberties and they made the Gold series of this generation, if you will. Kind of suck, right? They could have just stuck with the OCG formula and it would have been so much better, but they didn't. So maybe this is a new trend that they're going to try out, and I hope they do in that case. If it's a one-off, this is probably the worst one that they could have uh, done it for, right? Anyway, so this information comes from Duel Daddy. Make sure you guys follow him, like this post, and all that good stuff. Let's go ahead and see what we got. So again, this looks just like the OCG list. Not a lot of variation. Lava Golem is pretty good. I think it was kind of going up in value. It was one of the more better cards from the Hidden Arsenal Chapter 1, which is just a horrible set, man. But it was one of the best cards in that set. So it's nice to see it getting some good treatment here. And oh man, oh Twitter. All right, Lone Fire Blossom is a weird one for me because it's not really seeing play and it's also a really cheap card. Effect Veiler, pretty decent to be honest. I think all the hand traps and stuff like that need to be included in here, or at least as many as they can. I don't personally use Effect Veiler too much, and actually not a lot of decks do because Infinite Impermanence is just like a better card most of the times because of that secondary effect it has. But again, including hand traps and having it more accessible for everyone is a good thing, and I like that. Vision Hero Forest is one of the weirdest ones to include in here. I'm a hero player, guys. I know what I'm talking about in this regard. It is a very cheap card. Like I kind of want to see it in a higher rarity, sure, but it doesn't really deserve it, right? We have Absolute Zero that is incredibly expensive, that deserves it way more than Vision Hero Forest. Forest is also not really being played that much, depending on what kind of hero deck you run, of course. But if you're playing more of an elemental hero build, running Forest isn't that good. If you're playing more of a dark hero build, Forest is pretty decent. So again, it depends on that. But Absolute Zero is played in like every single deck and it didn't get a rarity collection. You know what could have actually also replaced this is the new Wingman from Power of the Elements that didn't get a reprint in the 2023 tins. Anyways, this is also a pretty good reprint because there's a lot of Fiend decks that are coming up in the woodwork that a higher rarity would solve this. Also, it's been going up in value, so maybe that'll make it a little bit cheaper. Lancia hasn't seen play, but again, it's a generic card. This is pretty decent as well. All these hand traps, the Ghost Girls are pretty decent, but I think they're missing quite a bit. I don't think I saw Moonlit and Chill, which is interesting because that is one of the better ones in my opinion. And they just, yeah, they shafted quite a bit of the Ghost Scrolls in favor of other cards. I'm not exactly sure why. Jackalope being in here is kind of odd as well. It's out of place. It's again, maybe this is because of it's akin to the OCG. They're just copy pasting the OCG format, which is kind of lazy in this regard. maybe it's better in the OCG. I don't know. It is seeing some play now with Dark World, but again, like, do these cards? Like, this is the whole theme of this video. Do these cards deserve to be in the Rarity Collection? Right? I mean, they did say themselves it's the most popular cards, all of which, yeah, the game's most popular cards. Like, I mean, is Jackalope a popular card? Is this bitch over here like, I don't even know who this is. Fairy Tale something or other. What? Not a popular card. The other problem with this too, we're not going to go through every single card here individually, and say, good, bad, etc. What I will say is they're going to cannibalize more bad sets, and we saw this already with Monsters Revenge and the 2023 tins. Now, this is probably going to be a better than the 2023 tins because it's a small set size. Small set sizes usually mean that the set is going to be doing well. If it's a bigger set size, it means it's going to not do as well. I guess it also depends on the rarity spreads, but the tins with the like 300 cards per pack, most being useless, is not a good model to say the least. I know some people do like the mega pack structure of it, but I don't know, man. Like, do we need all those commons reprinted in the pack, right? We don't. And here's the other thing, right? With cannibalizing. A lot of these cards were included in Maximum Gold 1 and El Dorado. El Dorado bombed, if you guys didn't know that. And now they're cannibalizing that set with they're including the alternate art versions of Outlick and of Nightmare Unicorn, which I don't want to say it's selling the set, but it's at least a selling point, right? If you want the alternate version of those cards, then you need them from El Dorado. But now they're cannibalizing that already bad set, which is like $60 right now. Like, it should be MSRP like at least $100, but it's like a $60 set. They're cannibalizing that even further, and they're gonna make it worse because of it. And that sucks, right? Like, cassettes need time to breathe, and these cards weren't even expensive in their respective alternate arts, right? I think they were like the most expensive was probably Unicorn at like $2. Didn't need a reprint. It really didn't need a reprint. And also, to if people are like, oh well, this is just a copy and paste of the OCG, it isn't though, because Maximum Gold, Max C, not Maximum Gold, is not included in the set. Now, yeah, it's banned, but if they were doing just a strict copy and paste, then it wouldn't be it would be in here, right? And it's not. So we can't give Konami that out. They obviously took liberties to remove stuff that didn't work in this format. So why not take out stuff that didn't make sense in the marketplace, right? It's just common sense. Like, these two cards are going to cannibalize an already bad set. We saw it with Brother of Legends. We saw it with Monsters Revenge to a lesser degree because Monsters Revenge wasn't that bad, but Konami has a problem and they need to fix it. Dark Law is pretty decent in here. Entis, the other set is getting cannibalized in here as well, is Magnificent Mavens, but I think that is a good cannibalization. So I'm using this word, right? When a company cannibalizes a product, it means that they are introducing a product that has similar features, we'll say, as an existing product. And in this case, this set has similar features to Magnificent Mavens because it has Abyss Dragon and Afterglow Dragon. We also have Entis, like I said, and I think there was some other cards. Anyways, point being, Magnificent Mavens is already a pretty decent set. Like, I think after a year, because it has been about a year, it's higher than the MSRP. So, and it's also harder to get, right? Like, it's harder to find the product. Not so the case with Maximum Gold El Dorado. Like, you can buy stuff on TCG Player again for cheaper. So cannibalizing a set that already had its run, even though it's shorter than El Dorado, makes sense to me. It does make sense. So these picks are pretty decent. Although I would say that Abyss Dragon is a horrible choice. Not exactly too familiar with Galaxy Eyes, but Abyss Dragon versus picking, like, imagine if they picked alternative Blue Eyes Alternative Dragon. Much better pick. Alternative Dragon is also going up in value in the market. It's the cards are disappearing. So it's kind of Konami being clueless to what's going on in the market, in my opinion. But now we're gonna hit some pretty decent stuff here, and we already knew about all this stuff, to be honest. But it's you gotta acknowledge the positives with the bad, right? We got Boro Lord Savage Dragon, not as good because it went down in the market, Barone though is has been consistently above $30 for the longest time, so I mean, that's a pretty decent. It's gonna hopefully drive it, unless there's short prints in here. It's hopefully gonna drive it a little bit down, which is much needed. But going back to the negatives, a lot of these extra deck monsters are kind of useless. Like again, if they're going for the most popular, these ain't the most popular extra deck monsters. If they're going just for copy and paste of the OCG, I mean, they succeeded, but they skipped out on Max C. And then if they are going for cards that are really good, I guess we got to ask the OCG side if they were going for that. Then they also missed the mark because these besides this guy and maybe this guy are not that good. Not even generically. In most decks, you're not going to run these cards. I would say it's like maybe 10% of the decks that would probably run these cards, if that. Like no one's using Red Eyes Flame Metal Dragon for the most part, right? So we're gonna go here to the links. The links are actually pretty decent compared to the Xyz. Actually, synchros. There's not that many synchros, huh? Junk Speeder is an interesting one as well because not a lot of decks can use it, but the links are definitely a lot better to be completely honest. Avermax did just get a printing though, so again it's cannibalizing now Maze of Memories, which I mean it's only one card from what I can tell. It's all right. It's all right. We can probably just go with that. Change of Heart is interesting because it's going to be cannibalizing Magnificent Mavens, but it's also going to have the quarter century treatment now, so that's pretty decent. Rhoda is the obligatory Rhoda. Like it's always in a set like this, so you just gotta get used to it. I think it was in Maximum Gold. Was it in Mavens? I don't think it was in. It was in Mavens. Wasn't it a Pharaoh Rare in Mavens or something? I don't remember, but it might have been. Reasoning is interesting because I mean, if you're running a mill deck, it's a pretty decent card, but otherwise it's not that good. Called by the Grave is a really good card. Magical Lies Fusion is really good. Extravagance is, I mean, it's cheap, so it's all right. It's a generic card, so I'll just say it's good. Dark Ruler no Mo is pretty decent. Lightning Storm, yeah, not Nadir Servant, it's all right. Triple T's is really good. Forbidden Droplet, amazing because for the most part these two cards were short printed in the sets they came in for the longest time. I think Triple T's was yeah, it was in Magnificent Mavens as well. So again, more cannibalization, but it's good cannibalization in that case. Infinite Impermanence as well, cannibalizing Magnificent Mavens, which again, good. Summon Limit is pretty decent pull or inclusion compulsory. It's not played in many decks, but it's like a very ubiquitous card in Yu-Gi-Oh, so it's pretty decent. Dimensional Barrier, man, that's an annoying ass card. The pretty good inclusion. Everything, all the traps, I would say, except maybe Harpy's Feather Dust Storm is gonna be pretty decent in here. So, I mean, we got everything from the OCG basically. It seems like besides Max C, so it makes no sense why they didn't include it. I mean, it's banned, but like so what, I guess maybe they don't want people to complain, right? Like if little Timmy pulls a card they can't play and then the mom complains to Konami because they made a card the son can't play. I mean, you could also just unban it and make it go to one, but people are not ready for that. Catch you guys in the next one.